Hello and welcome to a brand new and happy episode of Real Arsenal Talk with your hosts Stevie, Stevo, whichever way you want it. I'm gonna go with Stevie, by the way, because I've known you for a while. I can't just switch to Stevo whenever you want me to. So I'm just gonna go with Stevie. How you doing, my friend? How are you?
Yes, or you could say Vo.
I'm not going to say Vo. That's crazy.
Family members mention it, yeah.
Vo Diesel. No, it's not happening. It's not happening. I'm not doing it. I refuse to call you Vo.
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right.
Good. I mean, obviously, from our tone, it's just means one thing, doesn't it? What does it mean? It means we battered the blue bastards over on the fucking wherever irrelevant side of London. Who cares?
Battered is a very
we didn't. I know.
Strong observation.
I don't mean that in the performance, by the way, or in anything. I just mean battered because I think that's the third time this season. I think we beat them. Fourth time?
Yes.
Third time, isn't it?
Third, and I think 10th in 6 years or something like that.
Yeah. So when I say battered, I mean it in that context, not the actual performance from yesterday, because. Well, we will get into it. I mean, before we do that, I mean, did you, overall weekend, was it all right in terms of footballing? There was a couple of bits where we were just why didn't that?
Yeah. I mean, I was on holiday. I think I did mention that we were in Pickering. Well, actually, a place called Ebbsfleet, I think it was, which was in between Pickering, Helmsley, and Scarborough.
Nice, very nice. I love that part of the country.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, kids had their own pool, indoor pool, which was like a fucking ice bath for me. But we eventually got it a bit warmer, and yeah, had a really good time. It was just a nice getaway from everything that's obviously going on, and just a nice break, really. So yeah, everything good. I managed to intermittently watch most of the game, watch the highlights. Obviously the shitty results, and obviously strange results as well. But yeah, other than that, yourself, you had a good weekend with Tomo.
Tomo's been all right. Yeah, he's 3 months tomorrow. As we record this, it'll be the third. He'll be 3 months old, and he's still got the crying down. That's a constant thing now in our house, but it's expected, I guess. But yeah, I mean, overall decent weekend, and I'm the same as you, and I'm glad that you brought it up as well, because I had people over yesterday during the match, and he's a Tottenham fan, by the way. My mum's cousin, he's a Tottenham fan. Yeah, I know. It was
unfortunately,
funny.
Someone has to be.
I know.
Someone has to be.
Exactly,
yes.
And some poor bastard from Albania came over here and was tricked into being a Tottenham fan. So, that's the only thing I could put it down to. I think it was brainwashed by some fucking gypsy or some shit. I don't know. But so he came around. We watched a bit of the game, and he stayed till the end. So again, it was kind of on and off. Like you, I watched the highlights. I watched Match of the Day, and I mean. Look, as an overall match itself, it wasn't exciting because both teams, they just, I don't know how to put it. I mean, I feel like we were better than them, right? I don't know how you feel about that, but I'll, give me your answer in 1 second. I feel like we were better, but at the same time, it was still nervy. I don't know how that makes sense, and it's like a paradox or some sort of I don't even know how to explain it with Arsenal. It's like we're looking good, but it's nervy. It's like, what is happening? And I don't know how you felt. That's just the way I looked at it, even highlights and rewatching it, sort of thing. I don't know how you saw it, but that's the way I looked at it.
So you thought we played well but were nervy? I mean,
no. Look, I don't mean play well, because again, I cannot stress enough how well we did not play. Right, we were not. It wasn't a good performance. But I'm saying in relative to Chelsea or compared to Chelsea, I feel like we were better than them. But at the same time, we were still nervy. Do you know what I mean? It still felt like they could pop up and do something crazy, from the outside, or just get a penalty, which they almost did twice, sort of thing. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm not describing it right, but that's just the way I looked at it. I was like, we were good compared to them, but overall, it's still I don't know. Maybe there's a better word for it.
Yeah. I think when we messaged each other, we did say, look, all that matters is the 3 points. And that is the theme from here on until the end of the season is 3 points. But there's just something that's in the back of my mind, whether, you might agree with me, you might not, but there's just something lacking now, whether that's the X factor of a certain player, or whether it's the manager. We'll speak about this, and we will continue probably speaking about it right up until the last kick of the season. I just think that we were lacking something yesterday. For the dominance that we had, I just thought whether it was the final ball, whether it was just lack of communication, just not enough flair players. I don't know what it is, but like I say, I think my take of from the game was that we won, and I think I did mention that to you. It doesn't really matter how we played. It's not going to be pretty. Again, especially at home and against one of our, not a major rival, but they are a decent team, aren't they? At the end of the day, I think that's his first defeat in 7 or 8 games or something like that. So it was always going to be a hard game, regardless. It was never going to be a pretty game to watch.
No.
They caused us some bloody problems, mate, and.
They did, but at the same time, we made mistakes of our own doing, and I think it was a couple of times when we messaged about Zubamendi, and you just think it felt like this match had the sort of the worst qualities of the players that we have on show at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Eze with the missed touches and sort of taking that crazy shot, by the way, from almost the halfway line. It's like, I get it, but it wasn't the time. Do you know what I mean? We weren't 3-0 up or something like that. You play that ball out to the wing, and I think it was Gyökeres making the run down the wing or something. I can't remember.
Possibly.
I think either him or Trossard making the run. But either way, they could have had a better opportunity if that ball was sort of swerved into them rather than trying to take the shot. So it felt like the worst qualities. Even Gyökeres making, he had a couple of chances where he was running in behind the defence. But it's like, why are you not strong enough all of a sudden? Like, what's happened? You've been good in that department, and then all of a sudden in this match, you're just not doing it.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like the worst qualities culminated into this sort of match, but we still came out on top. And I mean, yeah, it's not pretty, but like, look at Man City. They looked nervy against Leeds, right? It wasn't a smooth sailing for them, and no one talks about it. It's always, Arsenal looking shaky. It's like, well, Man City are looking shaky. This is the shakiest they've ever looked in the 4 years that we've been competing against them. This is the shakiest. And what does that tell you? That tells you that Arsenal are, they've actually done something here. This season they look more of a complete team, and they're getting the sort of the calls that they were getting against them last season. They're not getting them this season. Do you know what I mean? Our discipline record and stuff like that, it's been better this season. Everything's sort of changed. Even, I know we talk about mentality not being as strong, but it has definitely changed, since Arteta's taken over. Like, we can't deny that. But obviously what we talk about is like that next step of becoming champions, and that's the mentality that we're lacking. But hopefully this is the season where we can overcome that as well, and that's obviously ultimately what we're looking for. But anyway, going back to the whole shakiness, yeah, of course it's the running. There's clearly 2 teams in the running now. We're in the depths of it, and they're both looking shaky. So this could actually make for a very interesting season, to end of the season. But yeah, yes, obviously performance not really what we want. It's not something that fills me with confidence going facing Brighton or the next sort of lower league teams. Lower league, right? Like, sort of not lower league as what am I trying to say?
League.
Yeah. So yeah, it doesn't really fill me with confidence, but at the same time, like you said, they're a good opposition. They've got very good players who can create and sort of finish. But fortunately for us, they were the same as us in that sense. I mean, they didn't fire up front. They didn't have the best of linker plays. It still felt choppy. But yeah, do I want this match for the next 9-10 matches of the season? I really don't. I got a new watch yesterday, and I think the highest point it reached is when they scored, and I was like, I can't believe I feel like smashing this watch already. So heart rate going through the roof, abnormal heart rate and all this stuff. It's like, yes, no shit. Are you not watching this?
But yeah, you've got a point with regards to like City, the nervousness and things like that, because they're probably feeling it as well. But I think, like I said earlier, I think they've got a mixture of of quality players, like a mixture of star players, should I say, and they all seem to be playing well. Like Cherki's obviously a star player, obviously Semenyo's a star player, Foden, Bernardo Silva, Wanker, they've got that mixture of creative players that just seem to be a level above ours, if you know what I mean. But one interesting stat that I've just seen, which actually made me a bit nervous, was 2022-2023 season. We were 8 points clear at exactly the same time. So we played 29, they'd played 28, and we were 8 clear. And then obviously they must have won their game in hand and reduced it to 5. Then the beat it was at the Etihad, and then it was 2, and then we just sort of folded. So I know our mentality, like you say, is better, but we were playing better in 2020. You know what I mean? It's like it's a catch-22, isn't it? Like our mentality is better, but we were playing better then. Our mentality is better now. So I don't know what's.
It's just finding the right balance between the two, isn't it? And like you said, it's sort of shifted to more mature mentality, but you kind of lost a bit of that free flow in football that we were playing back then. And that's true. That's very true. We've criticised Arteta on this podcast for the last 2 years about his rigidity in terms of the way that he plays, and to the point where you think, you worked under Pep Guardiola, right? And then you look at Pep and you think that guy's still changing things. He's still trying different things out. It's like, most of the times it'll work. The times that it doesn't, he'll come out and be like, all right, cool. It is what it is. It happens because you're experimenting. That's the only way to sort of, having the problem with the way that Arsenal are playing or have played this season. It's like you said, I can't remember, a couple of episodes ago, you said where they've been found out. As is always the case, because at this point of the season, halfway point, it's like, oh, okay, we know how to beat Arsenal, or we know how to sort of get at them, if you will. And this is where Arteta's not changing it enough. There's a couple of chances, a couple of matches where, like that Wigan match, for example, where he played Eze in the deep line midfield role and stuff like that. It's like brilliant. But, okay, have the balls to play that against a Chelsea, for example, So... Yeah, I think, I definitely agree. We definitely played better back then, but I just feel we're not bad. Do you know what I mean? We're not a bad playing team. We're not the most exciting team, of course. That's I can't defend that shit. I don't think you can either, to be honest. But as long as we're getting the job done, right? This is what we need. This is what we've always wanted. And yes, I will agree to what you told me last night as well. It doesn't matter about the performances right now. Just carry on. I prefer not to, like I said, to go through that shit again. But if that's what it takes to win the league by come May, then fair enough. Then yeah, we'll endure it. Fuck it, we've endured worse. We've watched Arsenal during the 09-10 seasons and fucking 08-09 seasons, and it's like I don't want to see that shit again. But so it is what it is. It is what it is. And in terms of so let's get to the match real quick. First goal
by Saka. Gabriel's arrived now. Entirely predictable. The art of set pieces has been mastered by this Arsenal team, and it was men against boys. Just watch Gabriel back here, the number 6, up against Reece James. You almost smelt a goal coming, and it has.
Set piece.
Set piece FC.
Set piece FC, ole ole, and all that stuff, and. I don't care. Obviously, that's not what I want to talk about. I just feel like it's funny how that could basically be what's going to win us the league. That's going to be it. That's going to be the X factor that other teams don't have. Even though they've implemented it in their own games, by the way, like the Uniteds and even Chelsea, they've implemented that shit.
And
Liverpool, yeah. So exactly. So it's fun. It's fun to see that now and sort of go to the opposition fans and be like, right, see, you're all wankers because your team didn't think of it first. Same as the whole F1 thing, isn't it? Like with what's going on now with Ferrari's rotating wing, and it's like someone going, is that fair?
I saw Ferrari, someone copied it again now.
No, I don't think they have. But again, it was in question as in like, wait, why do they get to do that? It's like, well, you didn't think of it. It doesn't say anywhere in the rules that you can't do that. So they thought of it first. You can't just bitch about it now. You just got to either adapt to it or, or sort of fold to it. And So yeah, like set pieces. Fuck it, I don't give a shit. You know, Saliba, Gabriel makes a hell of a leap, by the way. Like,
fantastic.
And Reece James's face when Gabriel sort of towers over him, it's hilarious. It's like, sit down, little boy, right? Even though he scores later, but that's by the by. But yeah, it was just a great leap, and again, what a player to have from your corners, right? It's incredible how this guy finds his head on the ball all the time. And yeah, Saliba, a bit of good luck there, but goal's a goal, right? And did you celebrate, by the way, when you saw it live? Did you celebrate?
Do you know, I celebrated the first goal, but I didn't celebrate the second, because I did actually think that there was some sort of kerfuffle, commotion on the second goal, and I felt when I celebrated the second goal that it was a bit premature, and I thought, do you know what? If we score again, I'm not going to celebrate, because it ruins it, especially when it's a corner and there's all sorts going on. If you know it's a genuine, legitimate goal where it's free flowing or whatever, then you think, yeah, I'll celebrate. But when it's a corner, it's like, fucking hell, I'm celebrating, but it's going to be chalked off in any second now. But hey ho, but no, I think they analysed the goal, didn't they, on Match of the Day, and it was really good. Obviously, the show judge Reece James looking away briefly, didn't they? And they said in that split second, Gabriel got behind him, got the jump on him, and yeah, I mean, obviously, it was a bit of a good fortune, but like you say, what Gabriel sometimes lacks defensively, he makes up massively in the opposition box when he goes up for set pieces. So, you know, we've got to stick by him, even though he potentially could have cost us the Premiership. Don't talk about Wolves or Sunderland, but no, yeah. I mean, obviously Saliba gets a bit of luck, and you know, Gyökeres was getting fouled. You know, if it had gone to Gyökeres, would we have got a penalty, because he had, whoever it was Sarr, I think he might have had his arms around Gyökeres. He was getting pulled back. Whether Gyökeres would have had enough power to get there, but Saliba didn't. He just sort of hit off his head, and it went in off. It might have been Sarr's arm or elbow or something, wasn't it? But yeah, nice bit of fortune, and I did celebrate. You know, yeah, 1-0. Here we go.
I didn't celebrate for either of our goals purely because of what you said there. It's just from set pieces, and you're crowding goalkeepers, and a lot can go wrong there. So there's no point. And yeah, I don't want to be premature. And obviously VAR has kind of ruined that whole, you know, that type of goal, really. Do you know what I mean? And look, we can't be like, you know, we started this trend of sort of crowding the goalkeeper, if you will, you know, more aggressively. I'm not saying you know, that's obviously been done before, but more aggressively we've leaned into that in recent seasons. And that sort of ruined that type of goal as well, do you know what I mean? Because again, there's a lot of question marks when that ball goes in. It's like there's a lot of question marks, okay, because of the way the camera angle is, you know, from the live broadcast, you just don't really know what's happened. All you see is the ball in the back of the net. You think, yeah, but wait. So I don't know. Since VAR has been implemented, I feel like it's sort of been trained out of you to stop celebrating. You know what I mean? You're like, yeah, okay.
It's taken away the enjoyment of the game.
Exactly.
You know, and putting like you know, obviously we'll probably do another pod on this, but I personally believe that technology is taking away people's freedoms and the enjoyment, and I think it's a way of technology controlling us to a degree, or it's a path of control, basically.
We're relying too heavily.
It's another pod for that.
It is. You're right. We're relying too heavily on it, to be honest, and to the point where, unfortunately, I think someone must have said it when this was introduced. They'd be like, well, at some point, the love of the game will disappear because everything's taken out. It's like it becomes too Americanized. Do you know what I mean?
The spontaneity's been taken out, like goal celebration. If the ref gives it, everyone's cheering.
Exactly.
But the ref gives it, and then it's like, but technology has the final say.
Yeah,
you know
and even though they're fighting against that, they're like, oh no, well, the ref has the final say. It's like, well, he doesn't, does he? If he's given it, just the only thing you can do is just ask him to have another look, and then he makes that final decision. You can't be like, oh, we think it's this. You can't influence it. You are an assistant ref. You know what I mean? It's in the name. Like, honestly, it's in the name. Assistant referee, that's it. If you're going to make the VAR, like VAR, the final decision, then just get rid of the physical, like the actual man. Do you know what I mean? Get rid of
Absolutely.
the actual physical referee.
Don't need a ref in the
What's he
middle
needed
of
for? What's he needed for? Yeah, we can do semi-automated offsides. I'm sure it's going to be fully automated offsides very soon. And if I think Wenger's whole thing about being, a whole body length apart, I think that's going to be implemented as well, which is going to make it even easier to make it automated.
You won't need linesmen.
You won't need linesmen, exactly. So that's just the way it looks like it's going to go. And we're old school, and unfortunately for my kid more than anything, it's like by the time he grows up and understands football and starts watching it, it's going to be different. It's going to be a different game to the point where I'm going to be like, I remember the days when when we actually had a physical man running up and down. It's like, what do you mean you had a physical man running up and down? It's like, kid, stop it.
Who was the ref that Arteta took the piss out of walking down the side?
That was so good. That was so good. I think that was, wasn't it fucking...
A baldy guy, wasn't he?
Simon Hooper or something.
That's the one.
Yeah, Simon Hooper.
Great,
that shit was too funny. That was hilarious.
Great memory.
So again, we're going to miss all that. And again, that's part of the game, and it's slowly going to be taken out. So anyway, I didn't celebrate for either goal. Obviously I was happy after it was confirmed. I was like, yep, all right, good, let's get on with it. And soon after, do you know what I mean? Was it soon after? It was soon after, wasn't it? Before half time.
Yeah.
Soon after, they get, I think it was 2 corners, wasn't it? Was it 2 corners on the bounce?
Well, the first one was getting debated because they thought it was a handball from Rice, wasn't it? A foul and a handball.
Yeah.
Or was it a foul on João Pedro from Raya? I can't. But they were debating it for ages because my stream, obviously, I don't know if I told you, it was so bad. I thought something's happened. They've either scored or because I didn't get any stream for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I think 4 or 5 minutes must have elapsed, and it said 1-1. And by that moment, I'd kind of accepted the fact that they scored. So I wasn't.
And that's soon after as well. And that's soon after as well. That's the non-surprising part. So I 100%. I'm glad that you said that, because that's exactly how I felt. I was like, it's expected. So sorry, go on.
Yeah. No, that's it really. Just obviously. The incident with Rice, I don't know. What are your thoughts on it? I mean, I thought it would have been given, and that's what I thought they'd done. I thought they'd give a penalty because it was taking so long. Because it was one or the other. I think it was either a penalty or a foul, whichever way you looked at it. Yeah. And they got the just rewards in the end, which was a goal, unfortunately.
That's right.
Nkapie, who I think is becoming one of our main players. Personally, and I think obviously we've discussed it in the past. Yeah. I think he's having the season of his life, and I hope that this is the season where we actually win something, because it's down to him, because I wouldn't trust the long-haired liability or Miles Skelly.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you that Nkapie has been not a revelation, but he has been very, very good for us. Like, he's been very solid.
He's solid, isn't he? He's very solid.
Yeah. Confident as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got all the good attributes of a player, and luckily for us, he's one of the players that hasn't really let that slip. He had a couple of sort of not dodgy games at the beginning. Yeah, not dodgy. I don't want to say dodgy, but getting acclimatized with the league.
Yeah, absolutely.
But after that, he's just sort of made that position.
I just feel secure when he's there.
I agree.
Consequently, obviously Timber's had a bit of a drop off, and he's got better. So. I'm not sure really what to say about Timber, but we will probably talk about individuals at some point. But in general, I thought, unfortunately, Nkapie scored that own goal, but in general, I think he has been a revelation in my opinion. But 1-1, and then half time. What do you think after that?
Look, after the break, I wanted changes to be made, like sort of straight away, if you will. I think it's difficult for Arteta when it comes to Trossard and Martinelli, because it feels like he kind of has to rotate between them. And that's the bitch of it, isn't it? Because again, as we've discussed many times before, neither of them are starters.
I think I've seen something. Yeah, I think we must have seen the same post by someone, whether it's been on the news or whatever. But I think you're absolutely spot on that neither are starters, and we've mentioned this.
Oh yeah, months ago. Yeah, absolutely.
We need an upgrade on both of them. Sell one and an upgrade for a starter week in, week out, like Semenyo would have been perfect, but we won't go there. And I think there is talk in the summer that we are looking at 3 or 4 upgrades, whether it's Williams, whether it's Leao. I think there's a couple of players being linked at the moment, whether it's, Dembele, whether it's Barcola. I think there's a couple. So, fingers crossed. But, I'd rather have seen that in January or the summer, like we said. But, he's quite faithful with them too, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. And it's not really doing us much favours, to be honest, because it feels like he's getting it wrong. Whichever selection he picks for that game as a starter is the wrong selection. And then we're always like, he should start Martinelli. But it's like, well, he started Martinelli before and he's kind of given the same performance, you know what I mean? And so it must be difficult for him to choose between them. At halftime, I definitely wanted to see Martinelli on from
100%.
Yeah, straight away. And I don't think it was that long after. Was it like 60th minute or something? He came
57th, yeah, I think so.
So actually considerable amount of time between halftime and him coming on. But yeah, second half, I thought Chelsea started a little bit stronger than us, and I honestly thought there was a couple of moments where they were in. I think it was maybe João Pedro. In the second half, or maybe Neto, I can't remember which one it was.
There was Enzo Fernandez was in, wasn't he, at one point?
Enzo, that's right.
Was that the first half where they got the corner?
No, I think that was second half because they started quite strong. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So a bit of fear. I'll be honest. It's like, well, if we were going to be closing out this game, we probably could have done it in the first half. And the fact that it's 1-1 at the second half, it's very, very suspicious about how this could really play out and could just put our season into the shitter really. But we came up and we did a thing. we scored a second goal.
Flung in by Rice. Timbers on the line.
Is the goalkeeper fouled? That's the only question. He's complaining. Let's watch Sanchez. Not a chance. He's nowhere near it. He's absolutely nowhere. It's really poor goalkeeping.
Again, did not celebrate the second goal because of circumstances around fucking what's his face, Sanchez. Which on first replay, by the way, but even before the whole VAR intervention, on first replay, I was like, I don't know what the hell he's complaining about. No one's pushed him. But obviously, it took a little bit of time for VAR to sort of realise that. And I tell you what, when you watch that in slow motion, oh God, that should be up at goalkeeping school in every single fucking footballing league around the world of what not to do when the ball comes in from a corner. That guy was just, the amount of spins that he was doing, honestly, he was like a fucking Vegas roulette or some shit. Like, dude, just calm down.
Torval Dean.
Unbelievable crap goalkeeping.
He's shite, isn't he?
And the fact that he was fucking running to the ref with the push hands, and then Gary Neville's like, they've got to look at this. Shut the fuck up. Honestly, sorry about getting so vulgar, because Gary Neville has really, really just irritated me.
Gone down in my estimation.
Oh my God! The last few matches, the way that he talks about Arsenal is ridiculous. And obviously we'll get to the disallowed goal and the noises that he was making. It's like you've been milked or something. What is wrong with you, you fucking knob? But anyway, sorry. So our goal, Sanchez. Apologies. There was nothing there, as always. I think Sanchez probably should have got a yellow card just for fucking, obviously doing the push hands, which fortunately Pedro Neto did, by the way. Did you even catch that in real time? Like,
I didn't in real time, but obviously you've seen the incident subsequently, match of the day, where he was going towards the referee. I think Reece James was walking with him and he had all of the ball, didn't he, Neto?
Yeah.
Going towards the ref, and I think he must have been obviously constant descent, wasn't it? I think that's where he was.
Yes.
And but a couple of minutes later he sent off, which for Neto, he's not like that. I mean, obviously I liked him at Arsenal. I think he would have been probably an upgrade on Trossard and Martinelli, but I don't know. I just think that it was something like he just lost his mind completely. It was nothing. It wasn't though he was annoyed about anything. Obviously Martinelli, and I thought it would have been a good little battle if he'd have kept on his feet, but he just took him out like scissor cut, didn't he? I know he didn't catch him initially, but I think it was his
follow through, wasn't it?
His flared in leg, wasn't it, that sort of tripped him, which was a yellow card.
Yeah, I mean,
but by the way, the ref, fucking hell. Do you want to talk about the ref? Fucking hell.
No, look, I think that Neto. Sorry, just real quick on our goal. Obviously, Timber scores. Not the best of games. I don't think he had. And I think that's been the case for the past few matches, to be honest. But yeah, so it makes it 2-1, and then soon after, I think it was a few minutes after, and that yellow card, the first yellow card that Neto got. There's a still on social media I saw today on Threads where Reece James is sort of looking like he's sort of moaning at him, as in like, what the fuck are you doing, sort of thing. Like, why you got a red card, for fuck's sake? And yeah, he's not that type of player, and I don't think. Look, that was definitely a yellow card. I don't think there was any maliciousness there. He had to. It was more of a professional foul, as far as I'm concerned. Martinelli obviously quick enough to not be scissored by him, but still got taken out, and then he got on his feet real quick, boom. And I'll be honest, I was surprised that the match that he pulled it back. That he pulled the play back, and I thought, well, you could have just let it go. He could still got the yellow card, but does that mean that if it's a second yellow, the match has to stop immediately? Surely not, right? I don't know. I don't know how that works. Like, is that something in the rules where it's like, well, technically that player's got a second yellow now, even though play is carrying on, so that's a red card. He should be off the pitch, right? I don't know. Anyway, so I was a bit surprised by that, but if that is something in the rules, then fair enough. I get it. At that moment, did you think if Martinelli carried on, do you think he would have made the right decision and passed to Eze?
No. I mean, seriously, it's not. I mean, I could think of 4 teams: Man United, Liverpool, City, and Villa, Newcastle. 5 teams, that would have capitalised on that. I just think the intelligence and certain players, Saka being one of them, Martinelli being the other, just would not have found a player, found the right ball. This is it. This is the reason, and I'm glad he stopped it. But there was a couple of incidences where Trossard had the ball, or I can't remember who it was, and we were breaking, and the ref blew 2 or 3 times and was completely at fault for not playing advantage. But I thought he had a shit game. The ref, fucking terrible.
Yeah, I wasn't happy with the ref's performance. But even though we did have a couple of calls, I mean just quickly on that was it first? Yeah, the Rice handball, like you said there, that was. They looked at the foul there. Oh, sorry, they didn't look at a foul there, did they? They only looked at the handball, but they missed the foul. And it's like, I don't know why they didn't look at the foul, but if they did, or maybe that sort of took precedent over I don't know, the handball. I don't know. But the fact that they didn't look, if they looked at it, I feel like that could have been, gone. That could have gone to Chelsea, and so in some ways, he didn't have the best of games, the ref. But at the same time, it's like there was a couple of decisions where it's like, yeah, all right, we got the benefit of the doubt. I'll accept this. But at the same time, we are fair, so we're going to call it out when the ref's not having a great game, even though some decisions did go in our favour. But so yeah. Where were we, by the way? Did we
just gotten back to the Martinelli? Yes. Would he have?
Yeah, he would. Yeah, I agree.
Pass? Probably not.
I agree. Yeah, I think he would have taken it further than he should have, and then I think that option would have been closed down real quick. But if he had a bit of brain about him, it could have. It would have been. But he's not the player. He's not that type of player. He doesn't have the footballing intelligence, as we've said. But maybe because he came on, maybe that's the superpower. So maybe he would have made the right pass. Whereas if he'd started and had that opportunity, he definitely wouldn't have made it. I don't know. Maybe something to look at that. I don't know. But yeah. So obviously, they go down to 10 men, and then it's the same as the first match, wasn't it, when they went down to 10 men when Caicedo was
galvanised them, really, didn't it?
I don't understand how it happens, and especially against Chelsea. It's 2 occasions this season where they've just been absolutely hyped to the fucking nines to players, and you think, if they had that energy with 11 players, there's no way we would have won that match, by the way. We wouldn't even, I think we would have lost it. But and if they had 40 minutes with 10 men, I think we probably would have lost that match, but it came at the right time. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is about that, and maybe how do you explain that from an Arsenal point of view when you let a 10-man Chelsea sort of dictate the game?
I know exactly what it was.
Hit me.
I know exactly what it was.
Tell me.
Gyökeres came off.
That's a fair point. That is a fair point. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Who did we replace? Havertz, wasn't it? Havertz came on.
Shite.
I don't think it was the right game for Havertz, by the way.
Where was Jesus?
That's a good point. Where was Jesus? Was he
on the bench?
I don't know. I don't even know. Again, it was all a blur. I'm just celebrating the win,
because
man.
I even thought Madueke should have come on for Saka. I thought Jesus should have started over Gyökeres, even though he scored against it was our last game against. I can't remember now. Leeds? No, not Leeds. It was our last game against where we beat.
Who did we beat? It was not Wigan, was it? No, it was Tottenham. 4-1. It was not on the derby.
So Gyökeres scored 2, didn't he?
Yeah.
Which it was good. It was a good game, but look, it was Tottenham. It was tailor-made. We keep saying it time and time again about the decision of the players who to choose for certain matches, and it wasn't Gyökeres' time. I think it should have been Jesus, and he's going to get it wrong probably against Brighton. He's going to probably play Jesus, and he's probably going to play Madueke, I can guarantee. And it's completely wrong. Saka should be playing against Brighton. Madueke should have played yesterday, or he should have at least come on. But Saka was just drifting through the game. You know, he did a couple of decent runs, but then his final ball, again, as we've said, seems to just go to no one or into a ruck of players, and you just think, well, there's other players there that were in a better position than you. Just lay it off to them, and you know, we might have had a chance to score. But it just seemed everything he did was, you know, uneventful. That, you know, came to nothing. You know, yes, he scored, he assisted with the corner, but fucking hell.
Yeah. I mean, I think the whole front four really was just poor against Chelsea, and Saka did not get a good score from flash scores, for example. I think it's like FOTMob or something, the guys behind it. But yeah, he did not get a good score. So and I agree yet again. It's like he's making the runs, but then what? You know, provide something different, man. You know, give me something else. We just need that guy to start firing again, to be honest, because if he starts firing, then you get the other players start following suit. But it's just, I don't know. I mean, as the sort of star boy of the team, quotation marks, he's not setting a good example, is he, right now? So
no.
Yeah, but look, it's not that performance wasn't just all on him. Of course not. Let's just be fair about that. I think, like I said, the front four were just very, very poor. Yeah, did nothing really until obviously Martinelli came on. Jesus was on the bench. Madueke, like you said, he was on the bench as well. Make that change. Don't be afraid to take Saka off in a big game. And this is exactly our problem with Arteta and Saka. It's like just don't treat him as this fucking, you know, only player that's going to win you a game. There is other players. As we've said, everyone has said, there's other players that can win us games. Please, you don't need to stick with Saka that much. Yeah, it's just it's a combination of players not really at their best and manager making some wrong decisions that really contributed to the whole performance yesterday, to be honest. But yeah, look,
I mean, I like the fact that he took Trossard off because he was having an absolute mare.
Yes,
and we've said it how many times when he's back to goal. I mean, there's amount of times I thought, Trossard, what are you going to do? You're going to lose that ball. We got away with it a couple of times. I think he was in his own box at one point, taking 3 or 4 players, and he's giving me a heart attack. And I thought, you know, when he's got hold of the ball, I don't know why he just doesn't release the easy ball. He has to dribble 3 or 4 players. And I don't know if you feel the same way when you watch it. You just think, just get rid of the ball. Just give it to someone easy instead of faffing about with it. And it's causing, like, you know, trouble that we don't really need, to be fair. But no, I think you did it. I think Arteta got it right by hooking Trossard off and putting Martinelli on. But I didn't get the Norgard substitution. I just thought it was a bit negative. You know, I know he replaced Rice, but I would have put probably Mascara on, wouldn't you? I don't know. I just thought that he got the Norgard. I think personally, he's not right. His head's not right. I think there's a lot of talk about him wanting to go at the end of the season because of Zubimendi coming in and getting all the minutes. I mean, he paid 10 million for him. I don't really think that he's expected to start every game, but no. I don't think that Arteta's played him enough to get him up to speed. And I just think he has a bit of a flippant attitude at the moment. He plays okay in the club competitions and he'll probably play against Mansfield at the weekend, but. Yeah. Champions League, Premier League, I just don't get it. And I thought Havertz was like a bit of a bystander as well. Wrong. I just thought Jesus should have come on seriously and Madueke.
I agree. And I think I don't know about you, but I don't think Rice had a good game yesterday. No. In all fairness, and again, that's 2 games on the trot. Yeah. So I think I don't mind hooking Rice off, but yeah, you can't put Norgard in there in the 76th minute. There's still a lot of game to play, and plus added minutes. It was like what, almost fucking 20 something. You know, was it
28 minutes? Or
something like so. Almost half an hour of gameplay, and it's like, how are you being so negative already? So I think personally, not even in hindsight, like whilst watching the match, I was looking at Rice, I was thinking, well, you can hook Rice off, put Eze in that deeper role, and then you could put Havertz in that in that position where he has been very good when he has played this season. You could put Madueke, which they've had a very good link up. Jesus coming in for again. There's other positive substitutions that could have been made, but yet again, Arteta in a big game, he's very, very, very negative in what he does, and I hope that's not going to be our downfall. But it just seems ridiculous that he's not seeing the game the way that everyone else is seeing the game. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yes, I understand you've got your system, but your system has to change right now. And by changing players, you change that system automatically. Do you know what I mean? You move Eze from that attacking 8 to the deep line role. Shit. You know what I mean? You have another creative player there. You've got Havertz who's doing the same. Madueke who's causing chaos from the other side. Martinelli who's got speed on the other side. So again, other positive substitutions could have been made, but just not from Arteta. Apparently, he's allergic to making any good substitutions. So it's I don't know.
Yeah, he's just negative. He's too cautious, isn't he? And we've said it, umpteen times.
Many
whether
times.
It'll cost us the league, Champions League, or whatever, who knows? But we have said it umpteen times, and we'll obviously keep reverting back to it. The fact that he's not bold enough, not courageous enough to go and win a game, and. Personally, I think that it's conspired that we will draw a game at some point. They will win their game, but we'll be level on points when we play them at the Etihad. You can kind of see it all happening. I think the Premier League, the FA, everyone like that, they all want this sort of exciting running to keep everyone, sort of hooked really in the Premiership, because obviously last year was a bit of a dead rubber really when we tailed off about this time last year, but I think he's a bit negative, isn't he, Arteta, and I think that could ultimately cost us, because he won't actually go for it, stick Jesus on, stick Madueke on, and keep a couple of other players, and give them something to think about, because all honesty, the last 20 minutes they came onto us and they probably should have got a point. I think as much as we dominated in parts, we were just wasteful with our front four, like you say. The front four just weren't good enough.
If they had equalised and the match finished even, I would have been disappointed, because we need the 3 points, but I wouldn't have been as upset, because they were kind of knocking on the door really. Even with 10 men, they were always knocking. So I wouldn't have been surprised. Yes, it would have hurt, of course, but interestingly, what you said there about the FA and Premier League wanting to make it a bit more exciting. Now, who's the broadcaster? Sky Sports, right? For the majority of the matches, as they keep bragging about, yeah? And who's the broadcaster for F1? And what have they been doing in F1 in the last 2 seasons during the end? So I'm not gonna say it out loud. I'm not gonna spell it out, but I'm just, it's interesting that the broadcaster where both of our favourite sports are being shown is having these ratings spikes all of a sudden. Do you know what I mean? Ratings weren't good enough. So, but look. Anyway, that's just conspiracy from my end. But go on.
No, there's a you'll probably heard of George Orwell. You know who he is, in his famous book 1984, where he goes to control the masses, both football and beer, etc., to keep everyone entertained and stuff. You can kind of, I am massive into my conspiracies, but I see that, and I think that when that dawns on me, at the minute I'm still riding the wave of the hype of wanting Arsenal to win the league and stuff like that, but the more and more I look into it, the more and more it's all about this. It's very corrupt. The decisions that 1 week it's given, 1 week it's not. For a handball, for a foul, for an offside, for this, for that, for deliberate handball, for a handball, etc. Sometimes I just think to myself, there's an agenda somewhere along the line, and I do think that Orwell got it right, and it will probably reveal itself at some point in the future. Who knows when? But I think when that happens, I think I'll probably stop watching it. To be fair, I think I'll lose it. I am getting that way now with VAR interventions and stuff like that. But
the state of the world right now, as we speak, is pretty much in turmoil, isn't it? We're on the brink of another world war. there's nations attacking other nations and so on. Obviously, this is not a conversation for this podcast, so because we will send it out on a better note, I guess. But yeah, just the state of the world and everything that's happening around it. Yeah, there is. It definitely feels like there is some sort of agenda. There's other stuff being hidden from the public. You know.
Yeah.
Don't want to mention the name of the files and stuff, but everyone knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, there's a lot of
distractions and stuff, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know, it's something that's, you know, and then when you sort of include, or when football is sort of tarnished with that by the people who run FIFA and UEFA and stuff like that, and it's like, I don't know what I'm watching it for. Like, am I watching just a bunch of rich people running around and entertaining themselves? Because what am I getting out of this? In all fairness, right, what are we getting out of this? Like, you know, I can't even afford to go to an Arsenal match, for example. So,
no.
So as a loyal fan who has a podcast or co-hosts a podcast about Arsenal, it's like, it's difficult for me to go to games, even though I'm literally 10 minutes away on the train. 10 minutes away from Emirates Stadium, and I get dropped off right out the fucking front. Can't afford to go there because it's so expensive. So again, yeah, it's everything coming into it, and when you add the technology and so on, and the control, absolutely. And money is the only thing that anything is ever about, right? Anything in 100%. The world, any bad thing that you think of that's happened, it's all fucking money, right? That's all it is. Religious wars. No, it's money, mate. It's fucking money. Yeah. It's the goal that you had. It's money. Of course it is. Fucking big. Anyway, look, we're not going to end with a conspiracy, but before we do go, though, I do want to ask, who was your man of the match? Because mine might surprise you.
It's either... It's no midfield and it's no forward, so it's somewhere in the back line. I'm probably going to say David Raya.
That's just bullshit. That's you. Did I message you that earlier? I don't know. Was I thinking it out loud?
No,
I don't know.
I thought the back four, bar. I think Hincapié, Gabriel, Saliba, they were contenders. They were very good. But I think David Raya, just for a couple of his saves that he made, I think just edged it for me.
I agree. That's he's definitely going to be. Yeah, he was my fucking. He was probably player of the week or some shit. He was fantastic. Like, he really was. He just saved us figuratively, literally, metaphorically, all the lees.
I think the Garnacho shot, when I was watching it, I thought, that's in that.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe he got it. To be fair, when I was watching it live, I thought, that's in.
Yeah,
that's in.
Oh yeah. I sort of like almost just, wipe my hands, like, all right, that's it. I'm happy with the draw, I guess. We didn't
especially
lose.
With the last second, one of the last kicks of the game, wasn't it? Like 92nd minute or something like that.
And again, just goes to what we said earlier in the pod about just breaking down, mentally breaking down against a 10-man Chelsea again, second time in the season. But I don't think any of the forward line merited any sort of praise, in all honesty. Defenders and David Raya, they did the job for us, and I'm glad because it shows that there is players in the team who will step up. Do you know what I mean? Who will, like Gabriel, for example. Did you see where he ended up? Like when he jumped to sort of headed that ball across. You know what I mean? That's incredible sort of commitment to what he needed. And that's what exactly for what he needed to do. So, and he did it. But yeah, Raya was brilliant, and that just last thing before we do send it off, that Delap whole situation and Gary Neville just doing some fucking weird noises. I mean, why is this guy? See, this is the problem with Sky, right? And this is why the conspiracy angle, which I mentioned earlier, this is why it gets stronger, because it feels like they know Gary Neville is pissing off a lot of people out there, but they also know that that's a lot of engagement on Sky Sports and Gary Neville, which in turn will fortunately lead to more viewers.
Any controversy generates obviously public interest. It's like us, if we could slate Saka every match, we'd generate a lot more interest. But we're not for that. But we could do it, and that's all Sky easily, do. They do it, don't they, for more views and interactions and stuff.
And so that was definitely something that I didn't care for. But it's pointless even sort of discussing it, because nothing's really going to change. It's just something that really annoyed me, and I'm sure it annoyed a lot of people out there. But
yeah, because it made you worry, didn't it? I mean, I was worried, thinking, shit, was he offside? Wasn't he? He might not have been. And it's like, makes you think, oh, well, should I watch VAR? And hopefully, and then
He was like, "Oh, he's
And
not
at
offside."
one point, didn't he say? Yeah. Didn't at one point I have a sneaky? We've got a sneaky monitor down here or something like that. But wasn't about that goal, was it?
I can't remember. I can't remember hearing him say that. That's
yeah.
pretty,
We've got a little sneaky down monitor down here that we see before VAR, and I'm thinking
that's pretty shifty.
Okay.
That's pretty shifty stuff. That really is. You know, get your fucking phone out and shit. But yeah, he was like, "Oh, it's not offside. It's not offside." It's like, Gary, he wasn't, but Pedro Neto was, you absolute bellend. Do you know what I mean? Are you not watching the fucking match? And the thing is, you could see that Pedro Neto was offside before any replays or VAR. You could have seen that.
João Pedro.
Yeah, João Pedro. Sorry, yeah, that's it. Yeah. So, you know, you could see that shit because he's the one who headed the ball initially. So, anyway. Yeah. It is what it is. We came out 2-1. Fuck Chelsea forever. And London is red. Best team in North London. Best team in London. All that stuff. I was just going through all the stuff, but yeah, I mean, Stevie, look, like we said,
lost you. Connection.
Oh, yes, Stevie has lost me. So bear with me 1 second, my friend.
I don't know if anyone signal.
Hold on. I don't know if you can see me. Can you hear me? See me? Can you hear me and see me? Hello.
I can hear you, but you're not moving.
Okay. Can you hear me though? Okay.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, that's fine. So we will. I don't know what happened.
I can hear you. Yes.
I don't know what happened with the sound. I may be a bit delayed. And okay,
the visuals.
So, yeah, that's fine. That's not a problem. But we will end it there. And we did say it was going to be a shorter podcast, and hopefully we can come back after.
Yeah. Do you want to go predictions for the week for Wednesday?
Shit, we're Brighton away. No. I think I'll be honest with you, right? I think it's gonna be like another, just a shitty 2-1, unbearable, insufferable 2-1 to us. Honestly, I can't see anything else. It's just another heart attack match, really, heart palpitation match. So.
See, they've got which when you play against people that have got nothing to play for.
Exactly.
Isn't it?
Exactly.
You know, Brighton, mid-table, on the beach, can just play to their own, you know, special passing that you could do 99 times out of 100 in your sleep, whereas we could probably put 2 passes together and look fucking like we're in Division 3 or something. It's going to be a tricky game. I mean, are they better than Leeds? We went to Leeds and battered them 4-0. Leeds, a bit more hostile environment. Brighton probably technically better than
I'd
Leeds.
say so.
I mean, I'd like to think we could beat them 2-0, but like you say, it's going to be a really difficult. I mean, obviously they've got Welbeck, fucking ex-player. He's on fire at the minute, isn't he?
It's just written in the stars, isn't it? He's not going to screw us over, is he? He's not going to screw us over.
Yeah, it could be. This could be the. I mean, obviously, Man City play Forest, which they'll get 4-5, which will level up the goal difference. We may draw, and it'll be level on points. You can kind of see it happening, can't you? Really?
Yeah. I don't want to think about it that much.
2-1. I'm going to say 2-0 to us.
That's fair. Very optimistic, and I like it. And that is definitely sending us out on a happy note. But even happier note than that, Stevie, can you give us the outro, please? And we'll end this.
Au revoir. Oui, oui. Si. Arrivederci.
Stay safe, stay alert.